As a weirdo. Today, I'm going to continue working on the mandala blanket that I'm hoping that people will bid on, and we can do a little auction for Alzheimer's awareness when I do my Alzheimer's marathon in June. I'm starting it super early because I was like, I've never made something this big. I have no idea how long it's going to take me. So I started it super early and was really kind of like anxious to get it started, like kind of itching to get it started. So I already did that. So I already finished part one and I'm working on part two of the pattern that someone else did. They did a crochet along of this mandala blanket and they broke it up into pieces so it's a little bit easier to digest. They did a written pattern and they also did videos to accompany it. However, and this, no shade, like honestly no shade, thank you for doing this, but the pattern that's written out and what is in the video, they are different. They kind of split at one point, so I'm basically just going along with the videos at this point. But yeah, so I've said about 100,000 times. So I'm in the middle of a round, but you can see what it looks like so far. I am super happy with how this is turning out. This is something that I've never done before, never even, not even close. So I'm super excited. You can see a little bit closer there. So I'm using three different yarns. I'm using a solid white, a solid kind of royal purple because purple is the ribbon color for Alzheimer's awareness. And then I'm using a variegated yarn. It's a bundle of love, similar to Pound of Love from Lion Brand. I said the name of the color way last time I did it, so if you are curious, you can look at what I did for part one. But it's like white, pink, purple, like a white, pink, and light purple. So I thought it would look nice. My dream color for that color was instead a metallic light purple that I know Walmart carries sometimes, but my Walmart has not carried it recently. And so I just went with this just because I like the access point of being able to like need more yarn to be able to get more. However, I mean with a pound or a ton of yarn like that, it's much easier. But in a normal size skein, in the event that you don't have enough, it's always annoying to have to go and purchase more, especially if shipping costs are associated. So I'm in the middle of a round using the purple. So let me just count my stitches real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm using someone else's pattern, and I will share that link with you. Like I said, the written pattern and the videos do kind of split, especially in part two, but it doesn't mean this person did give they did give the video accompaniment to it, so so you can follow along and get your counts right, because the counts are the counts from the video, not like the counts for each row and everything. They're from the video and not from what is being told. Also, it's a little confusing, but maybe if you've done a mandala before, they actually do match, and it's just me being a total newbie that I'm not quite sure. Um, so it might be on me that I just don't understand it. It's possible. Crocheting in the round, you know, is different than crocheting flat, even though I do crochet in the round frequently to make hats and amigurumi and things like that. Um, I don't do anything that's in the round like a mandala. That's not something I've ever done. So, as I have said a couple billion times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not great. 3, 5, 6, 7. Yep, that is wrong. And you have an itchy nose. So I just got back from going to get a coffee with a friend of mine. This cool little coffee shop, which is very it's pretty hipster, and I found out about it through I went with some other people that I had just met, kind of like getting to know them. But it's in a very gentrified place, and I went to the bathroom, and in the bathroom, like they had kind of set it up where you could like chalkboard or like write anything you wanted to on the walls, and someone wrote "fuck gentrification," which was like a hilarious like you realized that you're like it like I don't want to have to be the one to tell you this, but like that's a little dumb. Unless someone else, I don't know. I don't know. It just was a very hilarious and ironic thing to see on the wall of a bathroom that is clearly in a gentrified area. Two, three, four, five, six. And the occupants who would have been writing it are likely part of that. So it is what it is, but I got a good giggle out of it, and so did my friend. So once I told him, but yeah, it's like a coffee shop bookstore, and they have a bunch of really cool books. A couple that I really, really liked, and I don't think I had ever seen before, um, but I just need to chill out on my spending. So I was like, I'm not gonna buy these. I'm not gonna buy these. I'm not gonna buy these. Which is difficult to do sometimes, but sometimes you got to do when you just don't have the money to do that. Also, I'm bad about buying books and then never reading them, or um, just having them on the shelf. And literally, I have like books on my shelf right now that are from the library that's 5 minutes away that I have not read. They're right there. I have not read them. I need to read them. So um, I'm hoping that I can get some time to read them, and that will be super duper fun. 5, 6, 7. So, what is everyone working on or doing on this fine Saturday? Since this is what it looks like, this is the back. You can't quite tell. The only tell, other than my untied in ends right there, is that it wanted me to carry a pattern said to carry the colors through right here, so they show right there, but that's really it. And the back and the front look relatively similar, with the exception of a couple um, moments. Like I did a front post double crochet here, so there is some texture right here, and then I did a third loop only or third loop crochet for these 2 rows. So they have this kind of like lifted texture to them that looks really, really cool. I'm like, can we pull some more of that in there? In this pattern, I feel like that would look really cool. I imagine I could add it, but I don't want to change up the pattern too much. And I don't know if that would impact my um, ability to see the right stitches or the right things going forward. So I'm not going to change it right now, even though I'm like, I want more texture. Like I love the way it looks so much. I think that's 5, 6, 7. I'm using my Furls hook. This is a size H. I talked last time I went live about potentially getting rid of some, if not all, of my Furls. Um, I just don't know if I need them, and I've been really using my clovers a lot lately. So I'm not sure. And also, having had to move them and move a lot in the past couple months, it's something that I'm always worried about them breaking. Now that I'm, in my apartment, I hopefully should not have to move for a while. But yeah, carrying around resin hooks is, kind of gambling a little bit. Now, I have a bunch of like duplicates, or like they're different styles, they're different resin colors, but I have like a lot of H hooks on G hooks. And like, do I need that many? Probably not. So I know that there are some places online, some like Facebook groups and stuff dedicated to selling furl hooks. So I've been tossing around the idea. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to go do that or not, because once I sell them, I sell them, um, which is how selling things works. So I'm not quite sure that that's what I'm gonna do. But it's a thought I've been having, especially as I have my Krogo handle, and then I have my aluminum hooks, and then I have several of my clover hooks. I don't know where some of my clover hooks are. They probably are still in North Carolina, but and I think some of my furls are in North Carolina as well. I don't think I got them all when I was packing up my stuff to come here. Although I literally was just like, I just put all my hooks in a bag and I was like, fuck it. I was not the most mindful about packing things up to come here. 4, 5, 6, 7. I definitely had bigger fish to fry at the time. So also, I'm going to put my I'm going to put a couple things that if people want to look me up and follow, they can. I'm trying to get my makeup YouTube going, and do less makeup here and more makeup there. But it's difficult because I definitely want to have kind of pull makeup and everything more in that direction so that I can have it more as like a professional, even though like I'm still gonna be myself. But if you want to follow these things, you are welcome to. And I would appreciate it. But do what you want to do. It's your life. It's your life. It's your life. Why is my other video not there? Motherfucker. Like now I'm like looking at YouTube Studio. Like, why did that video not upload? That's. It's checking at 3%. Fuck you. Not you. It is I mean, it's a fairly long video, but it's not that long. I mean, it must be the fact that it's higher resolution, but whatever. That's what I think about that. But yeah, so so I went to the bookstore. Let's see, have I done anything else this weekend? No, it's been pretty. Well, I mean, I guess there hasn't been a lot of weekend. Okay, so here's some fun stuff. Okay, so we'll just run down the whole weekend, and then I'll pop in some stuff from the week. This has been a very interesting week. I think this is my second week in my apartment, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it my third? No, this is my second full week in my apartment. Okay, so after hearing 1,000,001 people talk about bidets in the pandemic when there was the toilet paper shortage, the great toilet paper shortage, right? I was like, you know what? They're actually not that expensive, some of them, and I'm going to try them out. They're amazing. They're really cool things. So I got one, and I had one. I installed one myself. They're super easy to install. However, you need to make sure all of everything's tight when you screw it in. Otherwise, when you turn the water back on, because you turn the water off and you unscrew the hose that goes to the toilet tank, and then you install something that makes the water go to the bidet. And you want to make sure all of that's tight so that water does not leak out when you turn the water back on. Well, it's if you don't. So my bathroom light switch it's on a movement sensor. So, but you have to press it and then it turns on the movement sensor. So it turns on for about 15 seconds, if that. I'm not exaggerating. I've literally counted. And so I got to 15 before it turned off one time. So I was like, okay, it's like max at 15 seconds right now. So you'll be like on the toilet, you will be in the shower, you will be trying to wash your face, brushing your teeth. And if you're not waving your hand in front of the sensor, it will not register and it will turn the lights off in the bathroom, which is great if you're in the shower, which is not directly in front of the light switch. So I I installed the bidet yesterday, and the light kept turning off, and I kept on having to like move my arm, even though I am clearly below the level of a light switch, and my arms are short, even though I mean, and so I kept trying to turn the light on, and it kept on turning off on me, and so I'd be like, okay, well, I have enough light here, hopefully, to have seen what I did, and hopefully I have uh, installed this correctly and tight enough. No, no, I did not. Several times, and I got sprayed with water several times at various degrees of velocity because the the tighter but not sealed the screwed on part, the more it will just jet out at you. So this happened multiple times, and I was like basically drenched from having to do this, and I can't see well enough because the fucking light switch. And it was definitely like something out of any comedy ever. It was like, fuck this noise. Okay, let me see. Is that a stitch or a slip stitch? Who are you? Okay, let me look at this real quick. Oh, gotta watch an ad. Oh, no. Okay, I'm not watching an ad. Okay. Give me my closed captions that I asked for. Sorry, one sec. So I'm watching it. And join my first stitch with a slip stitch. Okay. All of a sudden, my brain's failing me. It's like, do I go in this stitch or this stitch? think I go here. Okay, so this is the end of the round. Okay, so I was while I'm pulling up this video, and if a little bit of noise happens, let me try to cut that off before it happens. So I actually I could turn my volume off. So yes, so I got sprayed heavily with water, and it was ridiculous. Like it had to be like 5 or 6 times, and I like eventually I was like, why am I trying to tighten this by hand? Because the other one I could tighten by hand, it was fine, but I was like, I could use tools and I could get to where I need to go much faster. So so broke out the tools, um, and got to where I needed to go with that. Okay, so we're going to put some closed captions on that. And yeah, so that happened. The light kept turning off. It got to the point where I was literally just like slapping the light because it just would not stay on. It was just pissing me off. It was so ridiculous. And I made a fool of myself. Luckily, I was the only one to see how stupid I looked. However, I'm telling you about it now, so now you know. So that happened, and then I did that. My cat, so I adopted a cat not this past Wednesday, but the Wednesday before. And his name is Scotty. He's a Scottish fold. He's super sweet, very gentle. However, he's very, very scared of everything. He was in pretty, I won't say, I mean, in his previous house, he was bullied by the other house cat for years. And so he's developed a lot of anxiety. And do I feel like I've adopted a cat version of myself? Absolutely. But that hopefully means that I can help make him feel a little bit more comfortable. But he wasn't eating or drinking, and it made me really nervous because I've never had a cat or dog or any animal that was not food motivated. And so it was making me nervous. I had to force feed him like a little bit twice. But I like tried to do it as little as I could too. I was like, I don't want to like traumatize him, but I also want to make sure he knows that there's food and he can eat it and it's safe to eat. But also, I need you to eat. You need to eat to be safe and healthy. But last night was the first night because I noticed that because he hides under the sheets all day. And last night, or the past couple nights, I've had water in the bowl that his former parents gave me, and I thought it was a food bowl. I used it as a food bowl, and he didn't eat anything out of it. But since I've been using it as a water bowl, he uses it. So I'm going to continue using it as a water bowl. But I noticed he would drink water at night, and so I was like, okay, good. This is good to know. So because normally I was putting they gave me dry food and wet food. Which I'm going to start just mixing them because I don't think he's touching the dry food. But I was like, I usually put the wet food out in the morning and and he's not eating any. And so I'm like throwing away all this wet food and it's expensive, but also like he's not eating it. So I put it out last night before bed, and then when I woke up this morning, like a quarter of it was gone. And then when I went out for coffee, the lights were off, and he had eaten about like the like the remaining half of it. So I think he just needs his space to kind of find it himself and not feel like there's people, like he just like can't have like anything moving or existing around him. He just needs a very quiet space, because if I'm in bed and I'm reading on my phone, he'll like come out of the covers and like walk around a little bit, but then he's back in the covers like instantly. So I just think he just needs my quiet space to just kind of exist and not feel like he's like constantly like under surveillance, and he like potentially going to be attacked for eating, because that it's so sad. And his like the you could tell that the people before me like really tried to make him feel more comfortable, but with another cat that was just like a bully, like I think that just wasn't going to happen. And it's sad that it went on for as long as it did, but hopefully we can make him feel nice and comfortable here, and he can be a lot happier. Um, yeah, because like he's using the litter box, which is really good. Um, and so I'm feeling more confident that he's doing that. I'm trying to show him, like, I have a cat tree that I built just for him, so it doesn't have any other cat scent on it, but he doesn't really get out much, and if he does, he likes to be low to the ground or like able to get under the covers really quickly. So that hasn't quite been used yet. And then I also got him a little windowsill perch so he can see out of the window, which is there. I mean, there's not a whole lot to see because we're kind of like 3-4 feet away from another house. Hello, Rudy, welcome in. But at least he can kind of look around, and if there's birds flying through or just anything outside, hopefully he'll get a little bit more comfortable there. But that's like very exposed area. And so just getting him more comfortable with being outside of the covers, I think, is going to be step one. Because he's a scaredy cat, and I understand. World's scary. And so Rudy, I am working on a mandala blanket. So this is mandala. Anything really starts from the middle and you work your way out. So I am on what is actually step 3 of someone else's pattern. I'm not making this up as I go. I'm using someone else's pattern that I've pinned to the top. If you crochet, if you don't crochet, that's cool too. And so I am making this. This is going to be for Alzheimer's awareness. The ribbon for Alzheimer's is this kind of royal purple. And so I wanted to bring that into the blanket, but also use some other colors. So I'm using some white and some pink and some light purple, just because I thought it would be, it would look nice. They're definitely not the colors that I would pick if I were wanting to make a mandala blanket for myself, which probably would never happen. However, I was trying to go for like mass appeal. And so I'm using white, purple, and then this variegated yarn that is this like white, pink, and light purple. And it doesn't have the ball. I mean, the ball band's over there, but it's one of those bundle of loves, which is the variegated version of Pound of Love from Lion Brand, which usually I don't like the yarn. I haven't actually had any trouble with it, knock on wood. But Rudy, how are you? I've just been chit-chatting. So how are you doing? I hope you are doing well. I've been talking about my weekend, and I'll get into my week a little bit because I was also a little crazy. Very eventful. I just, things are just constantly eventful here. So I'm gonna get. I'm watching the video tutorial for this part. Um, this um, this particular uh, pattern maker wrote the pattern out, which I'm very thankful for, and they also did videos for, which I'm very thankful for. However, there are some differences. I think maybe I just don't understand them well enough, but I think there's some differences, some big differences maybe between the videos and the written pattern. So I'm going along with the videos. I just shared the link and pinned it for anyone who wants to follow along or do it themselves. I also put my makeup Instagram and my makeup YouTube that I've started up on up there for um, oh, now it's showing. Okay. I've put those up there because I'm going to start doing more makeup and want to start getting back into that. And I want to kind of pull away from doing makeup on here, kind of have a separate channel for that because I want to talk about like a lot of makeup theory. And I kind of started it because I was around people who didn't know anything about makeup and they wanted to, but it would be like, oh, you should try this. And they'd be like, I'd be like, you should try this primer. And they'd be like, what's a primer? And I'm, hey, Lori, welcome in. Couple minutes. That's okay. I'm just glad you're here. I'm just glad you're here. I'm finished step 2 of the mandala that I'm working on, the mandala throw for Alzheimer's awareness. And I've also put the link for the blog and videos of what I'm following. I'm following the videos, not the blog, because I think they're slightly different. So if you wanted to do this blanket, that's what I would. Um, that's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna see. I have the other video. Thank you very much. I'm loving it. It's definitely not. It's so different for me. It's so different. So I'm following along with the video. I have it on the other side of my laptop. I have it muted and I have it on closed captions. So if you see me just like kind of like stare and like stop talking for a little bit, that's what's going on because I don't want to get a copyright strike for using someone else's content. Um, so um, so that's what is going on. But this is a very, I mean, the creator hooked on. The name is Hooked on Homemade Happiness. Um, so so I am following their pattern. They said untangle it, and I agree that that is a good call because we get a little, just the littlest tangle going on. So getting this out of here, it's a lot harder with the pound or the bundle of love. So I'm just gonna kind of wiggle my way out of this one. So yeah, so I've had a pretty interesting weekend so far with the being sprayed mercilessly by the water from the uh, wall that goes into the toilet. I don't want to say toilet water because I feel like that implies that it's from the toilet. It's water that goes into the toilet, but it's toilet water. And so that was interesting. And always a good time. It's never really a good time to be sprayed by toilet water, in my professional opinion, but I'm not professional. So it is what it is. Uh, that's the price you pay when you want to install something and you have really counting. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I untangled a little bit. I'm actually just going to keep these right here. And we're going to be switching colors. Chain 2. Oh my gosh, my nose is so itchy. It's going to fall off. Oh god. Hold on 1 second. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. It's so itchy. Why is it so itchy? I don't know what just happened, but like literally I just had like a small conniption because my nose was so itchy. I thought it was gonna just, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm fine. We're better now. I don't know what happened. Okay. Whew. Oh, that's still really itchy. Okay, 3 double crochets, 3 half double crochets, last 3 single crochets. Okay. Oh, in the third loop. Okay. Hell yeah. Remember how I was just talking about wanting to do more third loop? Because I like the way it looks. Half doubles. And this is my first time working. This project is my first time having something that works in the third loop. It's kind of always been a little bit of a mystery to me as to what it actually is. Because every time I would see like a diagram of it, I would be like, I still don't know where I'm putting this stitch. And this video, especially because of just like the nature of the mandala, like really helped me figure out what like where people were talking, because I was doing it on trying to do it on the front side, um of like I was like, where's this third loop on the front side of the fabric that's facing me? But because of just going around and you're not turning your work and flipping it upside down, I could see that third loop a lot easier. So it's been really cool to see the texture it creates. Chain two, and then skip the chain space. Okay, cool. So yeah, so Scotty's eating more, which is exciting. I got sprayed with poppers, with toilet water, which is less exciting. Well, I guess exciting can mean a lot of things. And then I went to the bookstore with a bookstore coffee shop with my friend, and that was nice. Uh, this week, I don't know if there was an actual fire, but there was definitely a smoke in my apartment building. So the alarm had started going off, and it went on for a little while, and I thought it was above me. And I know that um, sometimes, like, someone set it off with their oven or something like that. So I didn't like I hear the alarm and I immediately, um, panic or anything like that. In fact, I actually sat for maybe too long. Maybe it was a bad call on my part, but after like a couple minutes, I was like, what's going on? Like, I should go check. So I go, and so I'm in an apartment where we have a shared, like, kitchen area. And then I go out to look outside of our apartment, and the apartment kind of directly, kind of catty corner from us, they have their door open, and it's like 50% visibility with like smoke, like burning smoke. And it does not smell like any product that is smoked. It smells like barbecue. It smells like burning wood or burning anything. Like it's fire burning. And so I was like, oh shit. So I'm like, I was like, I need to get my cat out of here. So I come back into my apartment because I don't see any fire. I come back into my apartment. I have dismantled my cat's carrier because it takes up a lot of room. So you can take the top part and the bottom part off. And so I had done that, and I had taped the bag of screws that put them together to the side. However, like, they had disappeared. And I had done that so that I could eventually find the screws again, and not lose them. And I was like, fuck. So I'm like looking for them, and I'm running around, I'm jumping over shit because I just moved. So I have all this stuff on the floor. And I can't find them. But luckily, I have this, which I know my cat feels safe in. It's a little soft carrying, or not carrying, a little soft cat cave, but it has a handle on the top. And I know he feels comfortable in it because the first couple days, this is where, if he wasn't under the bed, he was in here. So I was like, okay, well, I can get him in there. So I got him in there. That was not traumatizing for him. I didn't have to worry, like, because getting him in the cat carrier, like, when I went to pick him up from his previous parents, he, like, peed on himself. He, like, was, like, he was just trying to get away, thought he was going to the vet, all this stuff. This, I kind of started putting his head in there, and he went. It was fine. And then I took a towel and I stuffed it so he couldn't he couldn't get out. And I took him out to my car so that if we needed to get away, like so that we could get out of the um, the apartment. And then I saw the guy who lived in the apartment because I'm calling 911 because I'm thinking that there's a fire. They like it looks like there's a fucking fire. It smells like there's a fucking fire. And the guy is like out, his dog's out there, and I'm like, I'm on the phone with 911. I've already given them our address, and I'm like, hey man, like, you okay? You like, um you know, is there a fire? Does the fire department need to come? And he was like, oh no, like, no fire department need, no, like, no fire. And I was like, you sure? And he seemed like maybe he either just woke up or maybe he was high. I don't know, but like it did not smell like maybe he like fell asleep with something in the oven, or I don't know what it was. um so the alarm was going off for a while. I told the fire department, I was like, well, he says that we don't need the fire department to, we guess we don't need the fire department. And so the alarm stops going off a couple. So they're like, okay, call us if you need us. So eventually it stops going off. Bring my cat back in, and then like 10 minutes later it starts going off again. And I was like, I'm calling the fucking fire department this time. And and they came and they were here for like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, and then I guess there was, I don't know what happened or why. It I don't know what happened. Um, but I twice I had to take my cat out to my car. And also it just gave him some quiet because it was just very loud. And it started smelling like smoke in our apartment and everything. Um, so yeah, so I don't know. Maybe there was a fire. I don't know. That was alarming. And then in mental health news, I had a really um, significant PTSD flashback, which um, I do have PTSD. Like, I do have it, uh, and I have other symptoms, but flashbacks aren't typically things I experience. In fact, I don't know if I've ever had one, but I had one, and it knocked me off my feet and made me feel like I mean I just don't have words for it. Um, so luckily I got through it. Um, used some coping skills, but felt like shit. And got to talk to my therapist about it this week. And yeah, so that is something that I uh, had to do, and wasn't super fun. But yeah, the week had some good points. It had some less than good points. Um, but overall, here I am. I don't know whether that's supposed to go, but okay. Okay, let me see what my next steps are. Okay, it's to watch this ad. I'm gonna move my leg under here. Has anyone watched Lady Gaga's set from Coachella? I've seen like bits and pieces. It looked amazing. Looked like she just slam dunked all over Coachella, which I'm like, now I can go to things like that. Like being in Los Angeles, and being in California, I could go to the desert and go to these types of events where, being on the East Coast, that's not where, I mean, it's not to say that there's nothing to do on the East Coast, but not really in North Carolina. Okay, sorry. Let's see. Treble three together. I don't know if I started in the right stitch or not. I Yeah, I did. I did start in the right stitch. Okay. Okay. So this is what it looks like. So that's our repeat. Okay. Now I know my count's wrong. Okay, what the fuck? Nope, I didn't do it. Right. Okay. I placed my initial stitch in the row wrong, which is why it's so confusing. Okay. Rip it all out. Rip it, rip it, rip it. And we're going to start this row again. Okay, now that seems wrong. What the fuck did I do? Because it was 3 doubles and then 3 half doubles. Three singles in the third loop. Okay, now that's looking right. Okay, yeah, so that's different. Okay, where the fuck did I place that first stitch the first time? So weird. I don't know. Yeah, I think if I had more experience with mandalas and also just understanding the stitch placement of that first stitch consistently, I might know what to do. Oh, I would like your opinion on something totally unrelated. Let me go grab something real quick. Okay, so I have this. I got it from Joanne, like maybe, I don't know, a couple months ago. It was on super sale after Halloween season, and I want to do something with it. Obviously, it's unpainted wood with a little sign. I have no idea what to put on it. I have no idea. And I have some like fake. I have some like fake like toy scorpions and like tarantulas that I was gonna paint and maybe put on here, but I don't know if I want to say something or something. The only thing that I will not do is make it a chalkboard. I, j- I don't I I don't want to do that. I've always I don't want a chalkboard. I don't want a chalkboard. They've always seemed just not my style. They're just not my style, and I don't want one. So please don't suggest a chalkboard. But it's unfinished wood. I don't know what to do with it. If you have any ideas, let me know. Um, this doesn't have. Oh wait, it does have dimensions. Okay, so it says 7.8 inches by 17.7 inches, or 19.8 centimeters by 45 centimeters. So it's a sizable little baby. So 17.7 inches tall. No idea what to do with it. And I don't. I feel like it needs it. It deserves something cool as hell, but I don't know what to do with it. Um, so if you give me some ideas, that'd be nice. I would appreciate that. So if for all my creative folks that are friends with me, please give me some ideas. Please, pretty please. I'm gonna go hang it back up. Right now, it's literally just hanging in my bathroom, just like bare, like stupid looking. Like I every time I see it, which is often because it's right there. It's like I can see it when I'm in the bathroom. I can see it from my bed. I can see it's all seeing. Um, I'm just like I'm gonna do something so cool with you. No idea. I have no idea what to do. Also, I don't really want to buy anything to like. I just don't want to spend money on it. So I have no idea what to do. So if you have any ideas, I will gladly take them. Okay, now I'm questioning my placement again because this like middle part is it seems like it's in the wrong position, but it is in the wrong position. Where am I supposed to be? Oh, okay, starting over. Okay, they put it in with the chain. Sorry, I want a lot of what we do in the shadows. So I just hiss at everything. Okay, so that is 3 double crochets. 3 half double crochets. I'm gonna go back loop of 3 single crochets. Okay, so we're not including that double V stitch. It looks different. And they they say that they skip the chain space, but they also skip the double crochet before the chain space. They're skipping the entire V stitch. But the chain 2 doesn't. It doesn't make its way over that far, does it? I guess it does. Wait, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that'll put us in the same position that we were in where we're going too far. So we have to get this little sucker there. Okay. So that's where we place it. Okie dokie. So has anyone else had an exciting weekend? Have anyone else had toilet water sprayed on them or thought their apartment was on fire? Nope, just me. Weird. I hope that if you did have anything exciting happen this weekend, that it was all good excitement. not crazy chaotic excitement like I've been having lately. But that's okay. It's just like also, if anyone has any ideas for makeup that they want to see, I'll probably do like for the first couple times that I stream, like live with me doing makeup live. I will probably try to stream on both of my YouTube accounts, my makeup account and this one. Um, Even though I have several YouTube accounts. If anyone watches here, they can also watch on my makeup channel, and then hopefully start moving people who want to learn about makeup, talk about makeup over there, um, just to spread the love out. But because I mostly just do lives here, like that's pretty much all this is, right? Like that's kind of my kind of my thing. I don't really record many videos here. I am planning on recording some for Pride. I One of my ones that I'm gonna do is I'm going to crochet and release a pattern. It's gonna be like a super simple pattern, so I'm not too fussed about like not about sharing what I'm gonna do, but I'm going to make a brick for Pride because you know if you know your gay history, you know that Stonewall, the riot started with a brick being thrown. So am does I just did like a grid for a brick that says either pride or proud or something like that. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to show it a couple of different ways. And I already have the yarn for that. Again, I'm just so excited for like June to come around, but I know that that is when it gets really busy for me. With pride and all these other things. So I need to. So I'm trying to think ahead this year. Hopefully that works out for me. Okay, we're gonna treble 3 together. Cracky ass wrist. Yeah, from what I've seen of Lady Gaga's set, it looked amazing. She looks so good. She kills it, as she always does. Great blend of newer music and older music and tying them into each other. So it that looked like such a cool time to be there. I can't even imagine what it's like to go to something like that, to go to something that big. Um, I I don't have social anxiety, um, but I have agoraphobia, which is much better now than it was at one point. Like I literally used to not leave the house. Like there was like a whole year and a half where I didn't leave the house. Like if I had anything to do with it, um, and it was brutal. It sucked. But agoraphobia also can be like claustrophobia of like people. And so like if you're like in a crowd and people are like pushing like around and like or like you're and like I experienced this a lot when I was cosplaying. I'd be at a convention and if you're in you're in this convention hall with a bunch of people and everyone's walking and then people are stopping to look at stuff and it's like, kind of like you're kind of like cattle like moved like around but also like stopping and starting and it really starts to stress me out and I get really anxious. And back in the day when I used to go to conventions a lot, I would just I would be like I start to be like I need to get out, I need to get out, I need to get out, and I would be like I need a cigarette, and so I would go and I would have a cigarette and I would calm down, and I thought it was me needing a cigarette was the reason why I needed to get out. No, it's because I have agoraphobia, and I was literally on the verge of a panic attack because that stop and start of people just like oh my gosh, it makes my skin crawl. Mental illness, isn't it hilarious? But it wasn't until I got diagnosed with it that all of that became a lot more clear on as to why I reacted the way I did. Um, in those situations because I just thought I I just I don't know. I don't even know what I thought. I just thought these situations make me anxious. Okay. It's like, no, they make you anxious for a reason. This is how your brain works. And yeah, okay. Something weird's happening here. Yeah. Ooh, I watched the Batman the other night and I was like, I forgot how much I enjoyed this movie. Um, I thought they really did a good job um, at portraying um, all of the characters that they were portraying, um, and I remember when I first watched it not having a lot of faith in Robert Pattinson's ability to be Batman, um, but he really did a great job, honestly. Okay, now I'm in a weird position. Something's not right. I think I put a stitch in the wrong hole. I had $1. But I really liked his Batman, and um, I think that they wrote it really well too because um, the you know first of all if you are like I don't care about Batman, why are you talking about Batman? Okay, well, whatever. I love Batman. I am a big Batman fan. Um, and I uh, I think that they did a good job at portraying the the Batman that they were going for, which is year two Batman. So he hasn't been a bat. He hasn't been the Batman for a very long time, and he still has some kind of like growing pains of being this vigilante. And what the fuck? What did I do? Did I mess up in the previous row? So he's still having the growing pains of realizing like what it means to be this vigilante and what Gotham needs, his relationship with Selina being complicated and her being not a hero is, but also not being a villain, is so well done. Um, I think Paul Dano's Riddler is fantastic. Just, just, just great. Um, and I really enjoyed watching his performance. Um, okay, how am I gonna figure this out? I'm stuck. Am I stuck? I don't know. Did I just miss this stitch? I don't think that's right, though. I don't think that's right. Yeah. Okay, so I'm kind of stuck here. So I'm going to set this down for a while and not look at it because hopefully that'll help the answer come to me. But I appreciate you listening to me and talking about all the things I talked about. I hope you have a great day, and hopefully I will see you later. I will do a makeup